girl in the box, Ursula Herrmann. Imagine being buried alive by someone who thought they were keeping you safe. It was 1981, in a quiet Bavarian town. 10-year-old Ursula Herrmann was cycling home, just a short ride through the woods. She never arrived. Hours later, a phone rang. A distorted voice. "Ah, Radiotun, we have your daughter." 4 weeks, ransom messages kept coming. Strange recordings, clumsy and cold, ... When the calls stopped, hope died with them. 19 days later, police found a wooden box buried deep in the forest. Inside, Ursula. The kidnappers had built an air chamber with tubes, light, even food. But no rescue came. The air ran out. Decades later, a man named Werner Mazurek was convicted. Yet, doubts remain. Did he really act alone, or was someone else behind the box in the woods? Some crimes end in a verdict, others in silence. The murder of Marion Crofts. Sometimes justice speaks, even after 20 years of silence. In 1981, 14-year-old Marion Crofts was riding her bike home in Hampshire, England. She vanished on a warm afternoon, only to be found murdered hours later. No suspects, no motive. Just a devastated family and a file that went cold. 2 decades later, technology changed everything. DNA samples from her clothing matched a former soldier, David Lashley, a man who had lived just minutes away. He was arrested and convicted 21 years after the murder. The same science that didn't exist in 1981 became her final voice, because truth doesn't expire. It waits until someone listens. The murder of Chaim Weiss. He went to sleep in a place meant for learning and never woke up. Long Island, 1986. 16-year-old Chaim Weiss was found dead in his dorm room, murdered with a hatchet. No forced entry. No witnesses. No sound. The killer had lit a candle beside his body, as if performing a ritual. Police searched for clues. None. Decades passed. The case grew colder until it froze completely. No suspect was ever found. No clear motive. Only a haunting mystery inside a school that should have been safe. And somewhere, his killer walks free. Perhaps still lighting candles in the dark. The Whitehall Mystery imagined finding a body inside the very building meant to solve murders. London, 1888. Construction workers discovered a wooden box hidden in the foundation of Scotland Yard, the new police headquarters. Inside was a woman's torso. Days later, more body parts surfaced across the city. But her head never found. Her name, never known. The press called it the Whitehall Mystery. Some said Jack the Ripper. Others believed someone inside the system knew too much. Over 130 years later, we still don't know who she was, or who wanted her erased. Sometimes the truth lies buried beneath the very streets built to protect it. The Phantom of Heilbronn. For 15 years, Germany hunted a ghost. Her DNA was everywhere. Over 40 crime scenes. Across countries, crimes, and victims. She was called the Phantom of Heilbronn. A serial killer without a face. Police built her profile, warned the public, hunted endlessly. Until one day, she vanished. Not because she stopped, but because she never existed. The DNA belonged to a factory worker who packaged forensic swabs. Contaminated evidence had created a phantom. They caught their killer and realized she'd never killed anyone. The Austin yogurt shop murders. 4 girls. 1 fire. 0 answers. Austin, Texas, -1991. 4 teenage girls were closing a yogurt shop when a fire consumed the store. Inside the ashes, police found their bodies, bound, gagged, and shot. The horror shocked America. Years passed with no arrests, only rumors and dead ends. False confessions, lost evidence. Nothing added up. Only decades later did modern DNA technology point to a man named Robert Brashers, already dead. Justice came too late. The fire went out, but the questions still burn. The Cigar Girl Mary Rogers, she was famous for her beauty and died for it, New York City. 1841, Mary Rogers, known as the beautiful Cigar Girl, was a sensation. Then she vanished, and days later, her body surfaced in the Hudson River. The press exploded. Was it a jealous lover? A criminal gang? A political plot? No one ever found out. Her death inspired Edgar Allan Poe's The Mystery of Marie Rogge. But in real life, there was no ending. Only questions, floating on the water. Some mysteries become fiction because the truth is too disturbing to tell. The Butcher of Plainfield. Ed Gein. This man's house inspired every nightmare you've ever seen on screen. 1957, Wisconsin. Police entered Ed Gein's farmhouse and stepped into horror. Human skulls used as bowls, furniture made of skin, masks crafted from faces of the dead. He confessed to grave robbing and killing 2 women. He claimed he wanted to become his mother. His twisted world inspired Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs. Ed Gein died in a mental hospital, but his shadow lives on every horror story ever told, because sometimes the scariest monsters are real. The secret killer. She hid a murder for 30 years. She was the perfect neighbor, polite, kind, and a murderer. She killed her best friend, buried the secret for 30 years, raised a family, lived a normal life, until a DNA match exposed her past. She confessed through tears, saying, "I thought I could bury it forever. But the truth never dies. It just waits." Evil doesn't always wear a mask. Sometimes it smiles right next door. Full video. Ending. These stories aren't legends. They happened, and they could happen again. From the girl in the box to the butcher of Plainfield, from false phantoms to real monsters, every story here hides a piece of our world's darkest truth. That evil doesn't vanish. It evolves. So, if you've made it this far, you've already stepped into the dark. Now dare to go deeper. Like this video, subscribe, and join us in the shadows